Just like any programming language, JavaScript gives you the power of working with numbers, using some methods available on numbers, and others are found on the math object. So let's see some of them. In the previous video, we saw how we can convert a number to a string using the toString method. If you don't give to this method any arguments, it will take the number and change its type to a string and does not change its value. But what if you give it an argument, for instance the value of 16? Now it returns a new value with the type of string, and it returns the number as base 16, also called hexadecimal. You can give it the value of 8 and it will return the number as base 8, also called octal. And also you can give it the value of 2 and it will return the number as base 2, also called binary. You can give it a value that is between 2 and 36. So we can give it 7, 30, 20, but if you give it a value of 40, it will throw an error. So if you want to change the base of a specific number, make sure you use the toString method. Now let's move to the second method, the toExponential method. This method returns a string with a number rounded and written using exponential notation. For example, let's declare a new variable and let's give it this value. Then let's console log it using the toExponential method. Then another one with a different argument. Great. Then another one with a different argument. Then another one. And now when we preview the result, you can see that we have a string with a number written using exponential notation. You might need this method, who knows. Let's move to the next one, the toFixed method. This method returns a string with a number written with a specified numbers of decimals. For example, let's give to our variable this value. We can make use of the toFixed method to grab only a specified number of decimals. Let's go to the first one, this argument, then a different argument to the second one, then another one to the last one, and let's preview the result. Great. Let's move to the next method, the toPrecision method. This method returns a string with a number written with a specified length. For example, if we give to our variable this value, you can make use of the toPrecision method to create a new string with a specified length. So let's do it. Then let's preview the result. Great. Till now we've been using methods that can be used on numbers, but sometimes you need to make some advanced calculations. For example, what if you want to calculate the square root of a specific number? Well, JavaScript gives you the tools for that, but you need to use the math object. So let's go and see some of the math methods that we can use. There is a website that you can use as a reference, MDN, Mozilla Developer Network. To get to this website, you type in Google MDN or Mozilla Developer Network, then you click on the website, and here you can search for anything that you like. So let's look for the math object. Here we have the result. Let's click on this one. And here you have a brief description of this object. Then here all of the properties available on this math object, like this one and this one. You might need this one dealing with some calculations, so let's console log this value. And here you have the right value. Great. There are also some properties that you can use. Feel free to play with everything you see here. Now let's move to methods. If you go to this site, you can see all of the methods that you can use with the math objects. So this is huge, I know. Let's explore some of them. Let's see math.ceil. When you click on it, here you have the definition of this method. Then when you scroll down, you have some examples. Let's go to the console and play with this method. This method returns the value rounded up to its nearest integer. For example, math.ceil 5.6 will return 6. If we give it 5.1, this will return 6. If we give it 5, it will return 5. If we give it 0.22, it will return 1. I think you got the idea. This method returns the value rounded up to its nearest integer. There is also another method that you can use called math.floor. This method returns the value rounded down to its nearest integer. So math.ceil returns the value rounded up, but math.floor returns the value rounded down. So if we give to this method 4.9, it will return 4. 6.7 will return 6. 0.22 will return 0, and negative 2.6 will return negative 3. Let's move to the next method, mathmin method. This method can be used to find the lowest value in a list of arguments. For example, mathmin 10, 20, negative 5, 18 will return negative 5. If we give it 10, 20, negative 5, negative 200, this will return negative 200. If we give it 10, 20, 5, 200, 0, it will return 0. And there is also the method math.max. This method can be used to find the highest value in a list of arguments. For example, if we give it 10, 20, 5, 200, and 0, it will return 200. If we give it 10, 20, 1000, 250, 0, it will return 1000. If we give it negative 10, 0, 50, negative 30, 0, it will return 50. So in this video, we saw the most used methods of the math object. If you want to learn more about it, make use of the MDN website. It is really helpful. Play with each method, and if you have questions, feel free to ask them.